Yeah, hey, Junior. Yeah, this is Clem. I don't know how to tell you this, but yeah, that truck of yours with the skidder on it, yeah, it's sitting on the side of Route 102. Yeah, and I quit. Yeah, I think you'll understand why when you get there. You're probably going to fire me anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and quit now. Could you just mail me my beaded seat cover? That'd be awesome. Yeah, same to you.
So growing up, my dad's uncle, he owned a sawmill. He had a whole herd of log trucks and pallet trucks and all types of stuff. And just his name was Junior, so that's where I get the name. When I say "Hey Junior," I always get it from him. He was a good guy. People always kind of took advantage of him, but he didn't really let them. And just seemed like something that would happen with him. One of his guys would, break something and then leave it on the road and quit or something like. I could definitely see that happening. Growing up around farmers and loggers and truck drivers and all that stuff, you got to see all types of stuff like this of things breaking. But what surprised me with this TikTok was the amount of people who corrected me when I said that skidder. The truck with the skidder on it. Well, it wasn't it wasn't a skidder. It was another piece of equipment. I think different people call it different things, like a cutter, feller, all types of stuff like that. But it wasn't a skidder, and I learned that. And I just didn't pay enough attention to it. It looked, to me, just looking at it, it looked like a skidder, but it was definitely not a skidder. Once I got back, I'm like, oh shoot, there's a little detail I screwed up. So definitely some people pointed that out to me. The other thing on this TikTok that I want to point out is that towards the end of it, I mentioned the beaded seat cover. And so growing up, when I was maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, pretty young, I would work through the summer cleaning school buses. It's just what we did. My grandfather owned school buses, so we cleaned school buses. And, my hands were the smallest ones, so I could get in between the double rim there and clean it up for whenever they didn't take the tires off. And they took the tires off, that made it much easier. You just clean everything that way, get all the brake dust off there for bus inspection when it came up in the fall. Well, I always noticed that the bus drivers, they always, at least the ones that worked for my grandfather, they always had these beaded seat covers, and I never quite understood what it was. And I remember asking one time, why do we have all these beaded seat covers? It seems like a very uncomfortable thing to me, but I guess it's actually pretty comfortable, or at least it used to be. I think there's better things now, but the bigger thing is it let the smell through. That's what I was told, at least, is that you could let the smell of a bus driver just kind of radiate through, let you breathe a little more, so your back didn't sweat, and so that sweat didn't stink. Let me know in the comments if y'all have any any experience with that. But that's what I was told, at least, is that it was for people who sat down while they're driving all day and keep the smell down. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, I made this video a while back, and it went pretty viral. Did pretty good. It wasn't my best video I've ever had, but it definitely was a good video, and it started off the series of Hey Junior. And, well, Junior, the real Junior, passed away years ago, but I think he'd be proud of these videos a little bit. Just seems like people he'd work with. Anytime there's a truck involved, I always say Hey Junior, and it's a name I created. It's not directly talking to my Uncle Junior. It's just a name that I use for the boss of the trucking company or whatnot. So you'll see a lot of my videos, I'll say Hey Junior, and then I do something. But anyway, that's where it comes from. It's from an actual person that existed, and his name was Junior. And everybody called him Junior. I remember there was this one time, we recently found this newspaper article. He was in a local newspaper article, and
spelled his name J period R period. But he spelled his name J and then lowercase r period. Well, his wife saw this newspaper article there in the Times, and she raised holy heck with that. Don't you call him JR, his name's Junior. And well, they didn't know any better. The newspaper they saw his name on the shirt. It said Junior, J period, or JR period. And they just wrote it down as JR. Well, that ticked her off. I remember her flying off the handle with it. Well, just recently, somebody found this news article and had republished it on the internet, and we got to read it. It was pretty cool about JR. And that just brought back all those memories of her getting so mad with it. But he was the type guy who would do anything in the world for you. He was just a really nice guy. And people tried to take advantage of him. You know, he had a little bit of money from his business, and people tried to take advantage of that. But, you know, he would, we'd go to farm auctions with him, and he'd just pull out a wad of $100 bills and start peeling them off. He always had money. You know, growing up, we didn't have a lot. You know, I never knew it. I think with the fact that my brother would make toys for me. You know, he'd take you know, a couple broken toys and make one that works or something like that. I never realized that we didn't have anything. And if we wanted anything good, we had to ask for it for Christmas. And it wasn't asked for it from the parents or Santa Claus or any of that, because Santa Claus didn't have any money either, and parents didn't have any money. So we had two chances. We had my grandmother, right? She'd spend a little bit of money on us, you know, $50 or so, which is a lot of money back in the early 90s. You know, not as much as it was 20 years before that, but sure is a lot less than it is now. And she would get us something nice. So we'd ask for one big gift from her, and then my Uncle Junior's wife, she would always have something really nice for us. And pretty much there was no cost limit on it. If you wanted something, that one thing, she'd find it for you. And then she'd go the extra step. And I remember my best gift she ever gave me by far, I wanted a Nintendo Game Boy. That's when they first came out. First of all, they were kind of hard to find. And they, you know, when you did find them, they were too expensive, like $100. My parents didn't have $100 to spend on me. Well, Uncle Junior's wife, she asked me what I wanted one day. I'm like, now's my chance. I'm like, I want a Game Boy. And she's like, my son wants a Game Boy too. I'm like, oh yeah. And she's like, my other grandson, he wants a Game Boy. I'm like, yes, here's a good chance I'm going to get one, right? And she's like, do you want any games for it? I'm like, oh, I just want the Super Mario Brothers game, right? Super Mario World or whatever it was. She's like, all right, we'll see what we can do, right? We'll see what Santa Claus says. Well, that Christmas we stopped over. We went to my grandmother's house on that Christmas Eve, and I think I got that. Remember that Tornado Rex game, the board game where you got the like Tasmanian devil thing goes and like knocks people off. That was a great game. I got that game. That was the big gift I wanted from my grandmother, and then I'm like, get my Game Boy, maybe I'm gonna get my Game Boy. And we get to the house, and sure enough, there's a package there with my name on it. And I open it up, and it's a Game Boy. And it's a case for the Game Boy. It's Super Mario World, Revenge of the Gator, and Tetris. Oh man, I was in heaven because I only asked for one game. And next thing you know, I got 3 games, the Game Boy, a case. Whew, I was in heaven. Unfortunately, batteries were expensive. I couldn't play it very much. Well, later on, she ended up getting me a battery pack, and I could plug it into the wall and play it however much I wanted. And it was a great deal. That got way off track here talking about Junior, but I just want to tell the kind of the real story of who Junior was. He was a good man, and he fits this character well, because I think my Junior character that I've created for the TikTok videos, he's always a good guy just trying to do business, and then people's just either breaking his stuff or screwing him over somehow. And, well, that's where it comes from. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I really do. We're going to watch it one more time like we normally do, and then at the end, I'll talk a little more. So here we go. Enjoy this. Yeah, hey, Junior. Yeah, this is Clem. I don't know how to tell you this, but yeah, that truck of yours with the skidder on it, yeah, it's sitting on the side of Route 102. Yeah, and I quit. Yeah, I think you'll understand why when you get there. You're probably going to fire me anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and quit now. Could you just mail me my beaded seat cover? That'd be awesome. Yeah, same to you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video there. I don't know if that was one of them or not. A lot of people point out that my cell phone was upside down when I used to use that iPhone in the OtterBox. And I don't know if it was in that one or not. I couldn't tell by watching it. But anyway, that's what I got today. I hope y'all enjoy what I'm doing here. You know, this I started this TikTok channel because I keep getting community guidelines violations over there on TikTok constantly. And I think their system's broke a little bit, I'll be honest with you. I think their system's just a little bit broke. And it seems like I get a lot of these, and then I appeal them, and I get it taken back right away. And some of them still get taken down even. They'll put it like dangerous acts or something. I'm like, this ain't no more dangerous than anything anybody else is doing. But I get it taken down. I've had a few taken down for bullying and harassment, and there's nothing at all. I don't do that. It's not my thing. I just don't do that. So I'm just afraid at some point they're going to take my account down. So I'm trying to build a presence over here too. So, you know, I'm going to be moving this direction. I'm not giving up the TikTok stuff, but I am going to be moving this direction. So if you all enjoy just hearing me talk, you might want to consider subscribing over here. I keep saying following over here. It's different. It's subscribing, right? Is that subscribing? So if you want to subscribe, go ahead. If you've made it this far in the video, though, can you go ahead and hit the like? It sure would mean a lot to an account that's just starting up. If you'd hit the like button on here, maybe share it with a friend or something. You know, be great if this got out there. I really do want to make something of this. So I appreciate every one of you. If you stuck around this long in my video, well, then you got some patience, because I wouldn't want to listen to me this long. I'm just kidding. But go ahead and leave a comment in the comments. Tell me what else I should talk about on here if you want to. All right, so you got some work to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what you want to do. All right, well, that's going to be my video for today. And, well, y'all be good. How about that? Have a good one.